Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a fantastic early 2023 and enjoying plenty of hunts in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Today what we're going to be checking out is the fact that Capcom went ahead and dropped two brand new gigantic event quests, and I say that literally because you're going to be fighting some massive monsters this time around, and more importantly, because they went ahead and dropped two brand new event quests, we now have a closer approximation on not just when they're gonna be dropping news on the fourth free title update, presumably some sort of Capcom presentation type of event, but of course it gets us closer to the release of the fourth free title update with, of course, brand new monsters. So we're gonna be talking about that at the back end of the video. So for now, basically, if you still don't necessarily know how to get your event quests, your downloadable contents, or anything along those lines, make your way down to the Steelworks or to Elgato, speak to their courier cat, go all the way down to the add-ons options, and claim anything that's labeled in white, be it free event quests, free item packs, or anything you haven't necessarily already picked up. Today you're going to find two brand new event quests. The first one is called Starting with a Bang, and this is supposed to be essentially the brand new New Year's 2023 event quest that they decided to drop on us. We're going to be talking about this one first because it provides you the access to a big crown Seething Bazelgeuse in the Infernal Springs. And pretty much as soon as you jump into this quest, you should be seeing the gameplay already. This dude is massive. It's probably the biggest Bazelgeuse I've seen in the game already. And this thing is just slow. It doesn't necessarily move all that fast because it just looks way too big. It's kind of silly just how big it actually looks. Never actually seen one myself to be that big. So if you're hunting for crowns, again, crowns are just special qualifiers that you get whenever you fight a specific monster, whether it's a small version, a big version, or whatever it is. You get those kind of like recorded into your hunter notes. There's no actual achievements or anything like that rewarded, so you don't necessarily need to be worried about it. But if you, for whatever reason, want to collect all the crowns, this quest is going to guarantee you the fact that you're going to be able to fight the biggest Seething Bazelgeuse you've probably ever seen. And this thing is massive. Now the drawback is that he doesn't have higher damage parameters, he doesn't have higher health or anything like that. As far as I was able to tell, and based on the information that I gathered, there doesn't seem to be anything like that. He's just a normal Seething Bazelgeuse. You're probably going to crush it relatively fast. He's not even an anomaly or anything like that. So that's the sad point. Again, once again, they're still not giving us anomaly investigations at event quests, and I'm hoping that changes. More challenges with actually difficult quests would probably make up for the fact that pretty much most event quests are not necessarily all that engaging, except when they give us quirky ones like this one. And as far as direct rewards go, that's pretty much it. You're just gonna get a big crown. You're not gonna get any sort of like stickers or anything like that for this one. So it's pretty dang disappointment when you really think about it, other than the fact that if you're crown hunting, it's all well and good. Now thankfully there is a second event quest, and this one is gonna put you up against Rathalos, Nakadaki, and a Teostra in the lava caverns. So this one is more of a traditional normal event quest where you are just taking on three monsters that appear in the map naturally. None of them, of course, as once again don't seem to have any sort of boosted or damage parameters. The Rathalos is a pretty standard fight. I saw him kind of like flying in the air a little bit more than usual, but you know, I'm sure it really depends on the AI, just whatever it chooses to do or whichever area you actually end up engaging it with. The area that we were in, he just kept flying up in the air being annoying, but other than that, no real challenge. The Nakadaki is just gonna go down. The second it kind of like gets those eggs on his back and it just puts that big bulbous thing on top of it, doesn't necessarily just make itself all that helpful, since if you're a Pierce Gunner or anything like that, kind of like the gameplay you see BC now, I have a brand new build I'm testing out. So as long as you basically start piercing the hell out of it, it's just really not ever going to put up a fight. It just kind of gets itself killed faster than others. And then Teostra technically should be the real challenge here, but of course, not a Risen Teostra. It's not even an anomaly Teostra or anything, so it's just a normal Teostra, so they don't necessarily put up a fight. Annoying, yes. They can hit certainly hard if you have some like lower resistances to fire, but other than that, this Toxic Trio quest didn't really live up. The Torrid Trio, sorry, is the actual name of the quest. Didn't necessarily live up to its expectations. With that said though, you are gonna get a specific gesture reward in the game. I believe one of them is called Cower, the other one is called Take a Breather. You should be seeing my little gameplay clip right there. You know, whatever. It's not necessarily anything special. I'm sure the color one will get a lot of people to kind of use it around to like post little memes and stuff like that. The take a breather one is probably no different than the accept praise one. It feels like one of those that should probably be looping, but you know, they just kind of let you have it on its own. Again, gestures are kind of been really disappointing in this game. I'm not necessarily feeling most of them. Shadow Box is still like probably the best one, and that thing's been around since pretty much the first or second game, if I remember correctly. So, you know, it is what it is. Gesture rewards are what they are. Now, the fact that they went ahead and dropped pretty much 2 event quests in this specific week makes us think that I believe we are up to just 5 event quests left for specifically the 3rd free title update. And what that directly means is that if we have just 5 more weeks of event quests, and maybe even just one of them being a double week of event quests, what we might be looking at here is that we know February is the 4th free title update drop date. So we might be looking at anywhere around the 15th, or if they decide to give us 2 more event quests together, which I don't necessarily think they're going to do because the timing kind of gets thrown off. If they might end up doing that, then the drop date for the 4th free title update would be on the week of the 8th. Remember that it should be on a Wednesday, so it would be February the 8th if they give us 1 more week of 2 event quests, or if they just give us every single event quest, just 1 per week, then the last event quest will run out somewhere around February 8th. Therefore, February 15th, right after Valentine's, they go ahead and drop us pretty much the 4th free title update. And of course, if they end up doing that on the 15th, which what I think will end up happening, most likely on probably the last week of February, they'll start teasing that on the week of the 6th of February, that would be the Monday of the week before they go ahead and drop that actual 4th free title update, we'll get some sort of presentation that week. Usually the week before is when they end up hosting a presentation. I don't think they'll actually do it for like the first week of February, which would actually be the last few days of January, the week of the January 30th, which would actually translate to maybe that Wednesday of the 1st of February, which would still be a Wednesday. We actually get the second to last event quest that day, and then they could go ahead and drop that presentation then. But most likely for me, I'm gonna guess probably the 8th or the 7th we end up getting that presentation, being hosted by Capcom. And again, it's just going to be one of those quicker ones where they just kind of do a 15-20 minute thing, a quick stream. They provide us with, you know, whatever monsters we're going to get. I'm going to be still going to put up a leaked video. I still haven't necessarily finished editing that. I've been really busy lately, and I kind of really want to do it properly because there's a lot of information there. A lot of people I've seen put up like leaks videos already, and I'm not the only channel doing that anymore. I guess a lot of kind of people picked up on that. The thing is, though, there's more information there that kind of meets the eye, and I want to make sure I present it properly. So I haven't necessarily finished editing that, and I'm also kind of worried that Capcom might take it down. So, but I'm also going to be talking about that relatively soon. I promise. I've teased this video now for almost 2 weeks, so I'm going to make sure that I get it right. Just the end of the year kind of like threw everything out for me. So I should be able to get that out relatively soon, hopefully within the next week or so. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. 2 brand new massive event quests dropped. Whether it is you're interested on the rewards or not, Capcom doesn't necessarily seem to care. What this does mean, though, and one of the things before I end this video that I do want to remind you, is that we should be able to have, if not next week, the following week, but I'm pretty sure it's next week, we're going to get a brand new armor set being dropped. And this one is going to be really popular for some people. So if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.